I remember the first time I really learned about Jimmy Carter. Not just the name, not just the title of 39th President of the United States, but the man behind it all. The more I learned, the more I realized that Carter wasn't just another politician. He was something rare, something special. Jimmy Carter was born in a small town called Plains, Georgia in 1924. His family owned a peanut farm, and from an early age he knew the value of hard work. He spent his childhood under the hot Georgia sun, helping his father with the crops and watching his mother, a nurse, care for people who needed help, no matter their background or the color of their skin. Those early lessons of kindness, humility, and service never left him. He grew up during a time when racial segregation was deeply rooted in the South. Even as a young boy, Carter saw the unfairness in how Black Americans were treated, and it made an impression on him. That sense of justice would later shape the way he led his life and his presidency. Before he ever stepped foot in politics, Carter was a Navy man. He trained to become a submariner and served in one of the most elite divisions of the military. But when his father passed away, he made a decision that surprised many. He left his promising naval career and returned home to take over the family peanut farm. He worked tirelessly, rebuilding the farm and supporting his family. And as he worked, he saw the struggles of his neighbors, the injustices in his community, and he felt called to do more. That calling led him to politics. He started small, as a state senator, then became the governor of Georgia. But it was in 1976, in the wake of the Watergate scandal, that America was looking for a leader who was honest, someone they could trust. Carter, with his gentle Southern accent and his promise of integrity, won the hearts of many. He became the 39th President of the United States. His presidency wasn't easy. Inflation was high, the energy crisis was squeezing the country, and then came the Iran hostage crisis. He worked tirelessly, trying to solve these problems, but the world of politics can be unforgiving. Many judged him for what he couldn't fix, rather than what he tried to do. And in 1980, he lost his bid for re-election. For many, that would have been the end of their story. A one-term president. A man who tried but didn't succeed. But for Jimmy Carter, his story was just beginning. Instead of fading into the background, he did something extraordinary. He devoted the rest of his life to serving others. He built homes for the poor with Habitat for Humanity, swinging a hammer well into his 90s. He worked to fight disease, helping to nearly eradicate guinea worm disease, which had tormented people in poor countries for generations. He became a voice for human rights around the world, monitoring elections, and standing up for people who had no one else to fight for them. He never stopped being that small-town boy who believed in kindness